This session, we're going to cover reminder items. So from my home ribbon, I'm going to go to Enterprise Setup, and we're going to go down to Reminders, and underneath Reminders, you're going to see Items and Groups. So let's start with the item. So what is a reminder item? Reminder items give you the capability of attaching to any specific vehicle items you wish to track, such as oil change services, tire rotations, balances, any type of a maintenance service, or maybe an annual type of inspection. Okay. So to create this, what we need to do is we come in here and we hit add, and we need to give it a name. So what type of item do I want to track? So let's just say we want to track oil change service. You're going to have two more tabs back here, intervals. So what intervals are for is to give you the capability of putting in some defaults that would already be in the system. In other words, I wouldn't have to create them from scratch. So you want to put at least one default in here. So what you determine is, what's your most common interval, for example. So if I go to Action, Add Interval, you can do it as a periodic or a fixed date. So let's do a periodic. So let's say that I want to track oil changes typically on a 4-month and 5,000 mile or kilometer interval. So I can make as many different intervals as I so choose. If you have more than one or two or three, just put them in, whatever you like. Let's say we have another interval here for a longer period of time, maybe every 6 months. Or 7,500 miles. The nice thing about these intervals is when I actually attach this item to a vehicle, these are editable. I can edit it to whatever I want. More importantly are the triggers. A trigger is a event or a service package that tells the system we have performed this particular service. So this is where it is very important that you connect the actual service jobs to this particular item. So to do this, I can go to Action, and I say I want to add a service package. So I'm in my oil and maintenance category within my profit center. Okay. So let's just kind of stop here and think about it. Let's say I have multiple profit centers. I might have one for car and light truck, which would be automotive, and I might have another one for heavy truck. So if I want to do a reminder for car and light truck, but I also want to have a reminder for heavy truck, I want to make really two separate reminders. One for automotive, one for truck. That makes it a lot easier to track. So we're going to do the automotive. I'm going to search. So here are all of the jobs that are in the automotive. Let's see if we can kind of expand this out a little bit. So I'm just going to simply highlight. I click, go down and look for my next oil change. Here we have the blended, the conventional. And all I'm doing is holding my control key. Click again, click again. There's another one for diesel and another one for synthetic. So by selecting all my oil change jobs in the automotive, no matter which service I perform, it's going to trigger the reminder and let you know it was done. I hit OK. So now I've added all of those service packages as triggers. Again, you can pick and choose exactly which packages you want. So let's make a second one. I'm going to add this one. I want to do tire rotations. So I may want to do a tire rotation at least once a year. Add a reminder interval. I can go in here and just say, well, do it every 12 months. Again, if I want to do it on a fixed date, I can do a fixed date. I'm not going to look at usage. I just want to do this at least once every 12 months. So I go to triggers. I'm going to go look for my tire rotation packages. So I'm going to go to my tire section. As a matter of fact, I'm going to even go type in rotate here. Search. There's my 2 rotation jobs. One's a rotate, one's a rotate and balance. Hold my control key, pick the other one. So now I'm going to bring these 2 back as the triggers. You can make as many or as few of these as you want. Typically, when we lay in a brand new template in the system, we will have a series of reminders in here already for you that are connected to the Automotive Service Profit Center. A group, you can create multiple groups. So if I come in here and hit add, let's just say this is oil service. I can tell it which reminder items I want to track. So I may want to have a couple of groups here. I'm going to go add a reminder, search for it. There it is, my oil change service. Now my other group that I want to put in, I want to do oil service and tire rotation. So I want to track both. Again, no limit to how many of these you can make. So in this group, I want to add both of these. So click, control key, click again. See, they're both highlighted, dark gray. Okay, see, now I'm going to track both. You'll notice too here that you can even put a default interval in too when you set these up, if you wish. So now I have my 2 groups. Okay. Notice as I was entering all these, it did not ask me for locations. So what does that mean? This is automatically going to go out to all locations. So let's go over to a location and see how this works. So here I am in location 2. Off the home ribbon, we're going to go to setup. Let's go down to reminder items. So you'll see I have my 2 items that have been sent over from the enterprise, and I have my groups. So to apply these, I can do it as I'm writing a work order, or once I have a work order written, I can go into the work order, come up to reminder items, select what I want to put on. So here I'm going to put my oil service group on. Again, it uses the default interval. I can always move it to a different interval here, or once I assign it and I open this back up, I can highlight and I can edit. So I can change that interval to anything I like. Customizable per vehicle. Now, here we have 4 months, 5,000 miles. Here's the date that we're going to service it. Here's when it's going to be due again. So from this point forward, every time I ever write a work order on this vehicle, the screen will actually appear and it'll always let me know the last time it was serviced. There are the actual triggers. So if I perform any of those jobs, The second thing this is going to do, let me save this, is as I post this, in other words, I'm going to turn this into an invoice. Our screen's going to come up. It's going to let me know the next time it's due. So this is a prompt to get your service advisor to book the next appointment in and when to book it in. The next question here is going to be, if I have a customer that comes to this location and they go to another location, will these reminders follow the vehicle? Let's go see. So here I am in location 3, completely separate location. And we're going to go write a work order on that customer, Joanna Wool. So I'm going to go find her. Not at my location, so I look at the other locations. There she is. I'm going to copy her over. And she's bringing her Nissan into me. So I'm going to copy that also. Now I'm going to hit next. So she might be coming in for another oil change or something totally different. I'm going to go next. Next. And here we go. So here's any reminder items that may be due. So this is letting me know that this service was performed on that date at that mileage, and we're still good to go. It's not due again till we hit 105. So even if you have a customer that goes from one location to another, the reminders will follow along. That's how reminders work.